Now we're going to look at factoring trinomials with a number in front, a true ABC. So you always want to look, 12, 19, and 5. Do they have anything in common for a GCF? No, they don't. So you're going to do the AC method. 12 times 5 is 60. List all your factors as 60. 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20, 4 and 15, 5, 12, 6, and 10. And that's it. All right, so when they multiply, it's a positive 60. And now look in the middle. It's a positive. So that means both sides are going to be positive, so we don't have to worry about any negatives. Yay. So now let's look at which ones add up to positive 19. I have 4 and 15. So put your X's because these two numbers are going to replace that 19. So we're going to make a 4 term for grouping. So rewrite your 12x squared. But instead of 19x, put your positive 4x plus your 15x, and then bring down that positive 5. So it's grouping. So group the first two and group the second two. Now let's take out the GCFs of each group. So 12 and 4. What is the highest number that can go into both of those? 4. Do they both have x? Yes, they do. So 4x is my GCF. So I'm going to divide 4x from the first group. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Subtract your x's. 2 minus 1 is 1x. 4 divided by 4 is positive 1. And then x minus x cancels out. Bring down your middle sign. 15 and 5. What is the highest number that can go into both? 5. Do they both have x? No, they don't. So it's just 5. And it's a positive 5, so I'm going to divide positive 5 from the second group. 15 divided by 5 is 3x. And then 5 divided by 5 is positive 1. Do my parentheses match? Yes, they do. We only need 1, so bring 1 down. And then for our second group, we're going to combine our GCFs. So what was our first GCF? 4x. And what was our second GCF? Positive 5. And if you did distribute or FOIL, your answer would be the original problem. So you can always check yourself. All right, let's look at number 8. Multiply the first and last. 2 times 12 is 24. So list all of our factors of 24. 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. So they multiply to a positive 24. So that means it's 2 positive or 2 negatives. Look at the center. Our center sign is a negative. So that means both sides are going to be negative because 2 negatives make a positive 24. So which ones add up to negative 11? Negative 3 and negative 8. Put your x's behind those numbers because we're going to replace negative 11 with negative 3x and negative 8x. So let's rewrite our problem. So 2x squared minus 3x minus 8x plus 12. So group your first two, group the second two. 2 and 3, do they have any numbers in common? No, just 1. But they both have what? An x. So x is our GCF of the first group. Divide x, bring down your 2, subtract your x's, 2 minus 1, so that's 2x. And then our x's cancel for the second group, so bring down that negative 3. Bring down your middle sign. 8 and 12, the highest number that can go into both of those, 4. So now when I divide, I'm not dividing by a 4. It is now a negative 4. So negative 8 divided by negative 4 is positive 2. Bring down your x. And then 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. Do our parentheses match? Yes, they do. So bring 1 down. We only need 1. And then for our second group, combine our GCFs. For what was our first GCF? An x. What was our second GCF? Negative 4. Last problem in these notes, multiply the first and last. So 6 times 1 is 6. List all your factors as 6. When they multiply, it's a positive 6. So I know it's either two positives or two negatives. So let's look at the center. Our center is a negative. So that means it's going to be two negatives. Now 6 is tricky. Everything can add or subtract to 5. So be very careful. That's why it's important with 6 that your signs are correct. So which ones add to 5? -5, -2, and -3. Put your x's to replace the center. So we're going to rewrite our problem, but instead of -5x, we're going to put -2x minus 3x plus 1. Group the first two, group the second two. 6 and 2, what is the highest number that can go into both? 2. Do they both have x? Yes, they do. So 2x is our GCF of the first group, so divide it from the first group. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Subtract your x's. 2 minus 1 is an x. -2 divided by 2 is -1. Bring down your middle sign. 3 and 1, what number do they both have? 1. Do they both have x? No. So it's going to be -1. So when I divide, I'm dividing by -1. -3 divided by -1 is +3. Bring down your x. -1, +1 divided by -1 is -1. Do our parentheses match? Yes, they do. Bring 1 down. And then for our second group, we're going to combine these outside GCFs. So what was our first GCF? A 2x. And our second GCF? -1.